Hăīre, φίλε, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, translating the very last verse of this chapter, at least as far as my memory is concerned. That's going to be 36 here. This is our rubric, everything that we are looking for as we go through this text. Let's go ahead and get started. Ho pisteuon eis ton huion che zoin ionon ho de apethon tui huioi. Not tui. Where did that come from? Toi huioi uk hop opsetai zoin al he orge tu theu mene ep auton. And there we have it. Very first word is an article. Don't really care about those, but as we move on, we see we have pisteuon. That omega nu we've seen many times before, especially off of this stem, tells us, along with that article, that this... Sorry about that, I was interrupted by an interruption. Anyway, this on the present stem with that article tells us that this is a participle. It is nominative singular masculine, present, active, and indicative. You could say the one leaving, or who leaves. Ace, prepositional phrase plus the accusative. Ton huion, we've seen this exact phrase before. Into the sun. Okay. Epsilon iota there is our third person singular off of the present stem. Is active and indicative. Sorry, I'm trying to scrunch things down. Has zoin, eta nu as our ending. Clearly this is a accusative. I don't need the C's. Singular and feminine noun, life. And this is not biological life necessary. Zoe can also be used of, and now my brain has failed me yet again. Oh boy. Zoe, so bios is the word that we normally mean for like physical life. There's blood flowing through here. I am alive, I'm not a zombie. I have bios. And then Zoe, bios I think can also have to do with the needs of the life, like food and shelter. But Zoe is a little bit different, especially in how the Bible uses it. So it can encompass physical life, but it also encompasses spiritual life beyond this. When John is writing here, he's not just talking about the life here on earth, but this is definitely talking about the life after one dies. So there's that for you. Moving on, our last word in this clause, we've got ionion, omicron nu right there, tell us this is accusative and singular, but we have a problem. What does this go with? It could go with ton huion, except this is far and beyond out this prepositional phrase, which has its own verb right there. So it doesn't make sense for ionion to be modifying huion. Into the eternal Son has life, or into the has life eternal Son. No, languages don't work that way. So ionion has to go with something else. There's no chi to connect it with zoin, so it can't be another object. So then what we need to do is we need to take a look at it in the dictionary, or the lexicon that is, and then we find out that ionion is a two-termination adjective. So masculine and feminine share the same forms, and the neuter has its own form, I think. Could be wrong about that. Well, neuter would have own in the nominative, and then the nominative and accusative plurals would be different, but otherwise I think would be effectively the same. So this one can actually modify zoin because it is also feminine as an option. And we've seen these before, if I could ever remember them. So this also backs up what I said beforehand. Life, not the life to come after death, for those who believe. Not so much for those who don't. De and or but. Ho, so that tells us that we should have another participle, which we see right there with this omega nu. Interesting that the circumflex appears on the omega. Patho. I don't think this comes from patho. Let me think a moment. So I don't remember the verb that this one comes from. I don't believe it is related to suffer. So I will have a note right about now that will list more clearly what this is. But one thing that I do know, we have the alpha right there. And now this could be from, just have apo, or it could be paith as the primary stem of this verb. If paith, that was strange. Sounded like somebody was in the house. If paith is the stem, then makes this a negative. And then knowing the meaning of this, first I should parse it. So omega nu, it's going to be the same as this one. I'm just going to pull that down. And this means disobeying or disobedient. The one or who, yeah, you get the idea. So, patho, oh, maybe it is from patho. My brain, it's terrible to be me sometimes. So, I think vague memories popping up from who knows where. Patho, I think, means to suffer, and maybe it also has an alternate meaning to obey. That could be where that's coming from. The note would have explained, and maybe I'll put it up again. Anyway, this verb takes the dative in the thing that is disobeyed, just as sometimes pisteuo will also take the dative in the thing that is believed. So we have, with the sub-iotas, singular and masculine dative, the son, uk, not, opsetai, tau, alpha, iota, that is a third person and it is singular. And this is from horao opsomai, so future tense. It is active and it is indicative. Will not see, zoane again, and just pull that down, life. Specifically, life eternal. So what we've got going on there is not living for eternity with Christ and the Father in heaven, but those who do not believe, who disobey the commandments of God, who don't trust in the shed blood of Jesus, they will be there for eternity, but they will not have the blessed life that everyone else has. So frightening. All, but, he orge, nominative, singular and feminine. The wrath, to theou, seen that before, of the one particular God. Mene, seen that form before. This is from meno. There's no contraction right there because the acute is over the antepenult. No, it's over the penult. Yeah. So this is present, third singular, present, active, and indicative. Remains. Ep, prepositional phrase taking the accusative here. Omicron nu. So we know masculine and singular. On him. Very frightening thing, that. Wrath of God remains on him. Well, from verse 36 and then the greater context, and we're done with chapter 30. Chapter 3. Who believes into the Son has life eternal, but the one disobeying, or the one who is disobedient to the Son, will not see life, but the wrath of the God remains on him. A terrifying warning, that. So from verse 31, beginning of our paragraph, the one coming from above is above all. Who is from the earth is from the earth, and he speaks from the earth. The one from heaven coming is above all, over all. What he has seen and he heard, this he witnesses. So has seen until now and heard at one time. He witnesses present tense. And his witness no one accepts. the one accepting his witness. He caused to be marked that the God is truthful, or he caused to be attested. He caused to be acknowledged. It might just be easier to say, he attested that the God is truthful. So that's this one, the one accepting the witness. Verse 34. For whom the God sent, he says, or he speaks the words of the God. And so this could be the one from heaven, or it could be the one believing in verse 33. And that's not quite certain, so I should actually have the lowercase here as well. For he gives the Spirit without measure, or for he does not give the Spirit from measure. And I think this would have hotheos as the subject here. Could be wrong, it could be whom again, but if it is the whom referent, then it can't be the one believing the witness, but the one who gave the witness. So those are the three options for that one. Moving on. The Father loves the Son and has given until now everything, all things, in the hand of him. Who believes in the Son has life eternal. But who disobeys the Son will not see life, but the wrath of God remains on him. And that is a pretty dark note to end on. Well, that's how John wrote it. Thank you very much for joining me. Sorry for all the stuff I'm forgetting, all of the antics there. Earlier, it sounded like there was somebody else in the house with me, which is weird. There's not supposed to be for a couple of weeks. Well, if I wind up dead on the news, I guess this video won't be uploaded. That's also another really dark note to end on. Well, next week, maybe, the Athanasian Creed. Farewell.